topic of conversation while you are drinking coffee with your best girlfriend or while you shopping with your mother, neither you and your sister-in-law will discuss about labial bumps. First of all, it is important to explain that some blisters are just that, blisters. Normal vaginal blisters are nothing to be alarmed or ashamed about. Who gets them? All women can get a vaginal blister. Actually, you don't have to be sexually active, you don't have to be unclean, and you don't have to be anything in particular. You just need the right anatomy. The most common causes of vaginal blisters are friction, ingrown hairs, and clogged sweat glands. What do they look like? You should make a difference between typical STD blister or bump and non-STD related vaginal or vulvar blister because they are not the same. An ordinary vaginal blister pretty much resembles any other blister, and may contain fluid or blood. They can be ovular or circular and may feel like a gel bubble when touched. They might appear as clear-colored blisters, or they may be very red, possibly turning very dark in the center as the blood inside ages. However, they shouldn't have an obvious border, raised or otherwise, and they shouldn't itch or burn or smell badly. They typically would appear as a single blister, as opposed to a cluster like you'd expect to see with a herpes outbreak. Do they hurt? The blisters can show up anywhere on the vulva, but mostly they go unnoticed until some sort of friction occurs. Also, usually they don't hurt on their own like a bee sting would, but if you touch them directly, they will be at least a bit tender to the touch, if not a bit painful. If you've got one on the inner labia, for example, you might not notice it at all until you experience a bit of pain when drying yourself after tinkling. Obviously, other sorts of direct contact could hurt as well, but, generally speaking, if you're not touching it, it shouldn't hurt. How do you treat it? Probably the best treatment is a good soak in a hot bath. We recommend you to try a sitz bath or other types of special treatments, but I haven't found them to be necessary. Soaking in the water encourages them to rupture naturally and painlessly. You should not open them yourself because that would make you more susceptible to infection. Just let them run their course naturally and the healing will take place on its own. How long do they last? In most cases, the blisters last less than a week. Still, sometimes it could take longer than this if your body needs longer to heal.